Wall Street, the major stock indexes opened this morning with big losses as President Donald Trump's tariffs hit the worldwide markets. Canadian imports will pay a 25% tariff and 10% on its energy products. Imports from China will face an additional 10% charge.
But the economy made up some losses when Mexico's president and President Trump announced a pause on tariffs on our southern neighbor. Mexico said it would put 10,000 troops at the U.S.-Mexico border as part of those negotiations. Still, the remaining tariffs are expected to impact things moving forward. Kyle Johnson breaks down how much Americans and each state rely on foreign trade.
Impacts of these tariffs on governments are a lot different from the impacts on you and me. The United States as a whole relies on imports far less than Canada and Mexico do, so the tariffs won't hurt our gross domestic product or GDP nearly as much. And in fact, the taxes could generate tens of billions of dollars for the federal government each year. That's according to the Tax Foundation out of D.C. But states may experience negative impacts by retaliatory tariffs. Canada already announced a 25% tax on beverages, cosmetics, and paper products. That'll start Tuesday. Passenger vehicles, trucks, steel, and aluminum are expected to be added to that tariff list as well. China renewed its threat of retaliation, but hasn't announced anything specific yet. According to the International Trade Administration, Virginia exported about $5.6 billion of goods to Canada and China in 2023. North Carolina, on the other hand, sent about $14 billion to those same countries. So if retaliatory tariffs stay in place, or if even more are announced, export costs would go up for our states. Now, individual Americans will feel the most direct impacts on consumer prices. So according to the United Nations trade statistics, the U.S. brought in $144 billion in cars, car parts, and crude petroleum from Canada just in 2023. From China, about $95 billion worth, and most of that was both phones and computers. So companies have already signaled that the costs of these tariffs will trickle down to consumers. So if the tariffs do stay in place, cars, gasoline, phones, and computers could all get more expensive. I'm Kyle Johnson for 13 News Now.
Well, the pause on tariffs against Mexico is only temporary, according to President Trump. The two countries will negotiate a path forward over the next month.